I love Star Wars, in large part for the impressive feats and displays by its characters, specifically the Jedi and Sith. But sometimes things occur in various stories that are absolutely crazy to imagine, and they may just go a little overboard on some of the abilities of certain characters. Regardless, these amazing displays of power are extremely fun to discuss, so today I am bringing you some of my favorite crazy feats performed by Jedi and Sith in the Star Wars universe. Number 6. During one of Darth Bane's vigorous training sessions with his lightsaber, he decided to test the true capacity of his guard. Bane decided to go out into a storm with heavy rain, seeing it as the perfect opportunity. Darth Bane then proceeded to twirl his lightsaber around, deflecting every drop of rain in his proximity to display how truly gifted he was with his lightsaber and how impenetrable his guard was. By the time the exercise was finished, Bane was completely dry and not a single drop of rain had pierced his near-perfect defenses. This feat with the lightsaber on behalf of Bane is absolutely stunning, and Bane was only capable of this during his prime, but at the same time, it's highly unrealistic, even for Star Wars, but nonetheless, it is one of my favorite displays on behalf of Darth Bane and belongs on this list. Number 5. For this spot, I selected the occurrence in which Darth Nihilus drained an entire planet of life using the Force. Darth Nihilus held such power in the Force ability Force Drain, he was capable of using it on a massive scale. Darth Nihilus used this ability to become extremely powerful in the Force, and at one time found his way to the planet of Qatar due to it being the home of people gifted in the Force, and also a group of Jedi who were located on the planet. Darth Nihilus used his Force Drain ability and literally sucked the life out of all those present on the planet. Darth Nihilus actually became so addicted and reliant on draining the Force energy of others that his physical body began to deteriorate and literally became Force energy itself. This specific ability Nihilus displayed is terrifying and has never been seen on such an absolutely massive scale. Even following this, it is known Nihilus was capable of doing this again, even multiple times, and it is likely he would have continued until there was nothing left alive in the galaxy, granting him the name Lord of Hunger. Number 4. Naga Sadow held prowess in the very obscure and powerful ability called Supernova. This ability was conjured using Sith magic and could only be accomplished using Sith crystals. The ability allowed the caster to control the power of various stars, in most cases ripping the core of the stars out and then hurling them at any potential threat. This ability is known to be extremely dangerous, especially for the user, and required great care and skill. Naga Sadow used a variation of this ability to manipulate solar flares when he was stationed in his warship in between two suns. This was done in an effort to delay the Republic fleet from capturing him. I love this feat by Sadow, who in the Star Wars universe was shown to have some really crazy and powerful displays with his abilities, but this is by far one of my favorite. The fact that Sadow chose to manipulate the solar flares of two suns and use them as a weapon in simple terms is awesome. Number 3. The Legends version of Luke Skywalker is so massively powerful and potentially the most gifted Force user of all time, and I could easily populate this entire list with some of his showings, like when he pulled a large ship from orbit and safely landed it purely by his might in the Force. But for this list, I chose one of my favorite displays on his behalf. During his fight with the Yuuzhan Vong, a species that is extremely Force resistant to the point where most Force users cannot even sense their presence, Luke chose to essentially become one with the Force in his physical body, amplifying all of his abilities to their fullest degree of power. His Force pushes could level armies, and it was said that it appeared as if Luke on his own was wielding 30 lightsabers at one time with his great speed and power. Number 2. Darth Sion is a Sith Lord that has seen it all. He originally allied himself with the Empire of Exar Kun and fought for the Sith Lord, where he was originally defeated, but he chose to use his great connection with his own inner darkness to rise back up and continue to live and fight. Sion used all of his suffering, anger, and fear to bring himself back from the brink of death every time. Sion fought alongside Revan and Malak in their attempted conquest of the galaxy. Sion was essentially impossible to kill, holding such a deep-seated connection to the dark side he simply refused to die. As a result of this, each time Sion returned, his body would become more painful to remain in, even decomposing while he still lived, with only his hatred and inner darkness holding his flesh together. Because of this, Sion earned the title of Lord of Pain. Ultimately, Sion had to be convinced to finally let go, making him the rare Sith Lord to never truly be defeated and destroyed outright. Number 1. In the EU, Palpatine survived via a clone and became exponentially more powerful than he had ever before, practicing an ability that could tear through time and space with the capacity to transport anything anywhere and destroy entire fleets and planets with ease. This ability took the very Force energy that surrounds and binds the Star Wars universe and aggressively stirs it until it is a weapon of absolute chaos. This power was known as a Force Storm and required extreme levels of discipline and various difficult Force abilities. Palpatine even used the ability to transport Luke Skywalker directly to him in hopes of finally making him his apprentice. As mentioned earlier, this ability had implications through time, causing one of its first users to be transported forward through time. Palpatine had great skill in this power, even displaying he was capable of conjuring a storm thousands of light years away from his location, displaying his powers had no boundaries or limits. The rarity that Palpatine showed with this power is that he could not only conjure a Force Storm, but also control it after it was formed, guiding it and controlling every aspect of it. In fact, the only way Palpatine was defeated while in the possession of such power was when Luke was able to momentarily block Palpatine's connection to the dark side, and he lost control of the storm and was destroyed by it. Without a doubt, the Force Storm power displayed by Palpatine is one of the most powerful and terrifying feats by any character in the Star Wars universe. A quote from Palpatine concerning the storms said this: "With this knowledge, I can unleash the dark side energies that swirl invisibly around us, even to shatter the fabric of space itself. In this way, I have created storms." So tell me what you think. What is the craziest display you have ever heard of in the wide Star Wars universe? What is your favorite, and overall, what do you find to be the most impressive? Be sure to hit that subscribe button for everything Star Wars, and have a great day.